that high-tech operation I got out there?
Oh, yeah.
Someone's trade binder had totally pushed it across the table, so congratulations to whoever's trade binder that was. But anyway, so welcome back to Round 5 action. The winning in round, they call it, from Friday Night Magic here at Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. My name is always Zachary Evanston. I'm joined by Eric Schmidt, and we are watching this potential winning in game. Both these players on 3 wins and 1 loss, drawing live to the top 8. They do have the worst tiebreakers, so they will be playing this out. On the left, Garrett Meadows. Stream fans will know him from previous weeks, as he has commentated and played infinite number of times. He is playing some kind of junk control deck. I don't know what it is, but it's got a bunch of good cards in it. There's Vraska in it, I know that, and Soren. It's like junk tokens, but also control. It's should be fun.
Maybe we'll see another Vraska win.
We will wait and see. His opponent, Alec Myers. Alec went to Grand Prix Charlotte and barely missed day 2, so congratulations to him for a nice deep run. He is playing, I have no idea what he's playing. The last few weeks he's played like Esper Control, so we'll see. We do see Paper Tiger win the ceremonial game of rock, paper, scissors. If you want to win your own playset, make sure you head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic, for information on how to win our weekly giveaway. So Garrett starts off with a tapped Godless Shrine, and now the moment of truth where we figure out what Alec is playing. He's playing zombies. What color zombies? Now that becomes a question.
I think we're going to see black-white zombies here. If I recall correctly from seeing it played in the past. And I think we're going to see the hijinks with the Restoration Angel once again, and the Charleston Messenger.
Alright.
So, should be some interesting interactions. Blind Obedience hits the field.
This is very interesting. So this is Junk Control versus Black-White Zombies. Boom. Nailed it. So a lot of interesting cards here that we are more than familiar with seeing on camera, but not necessarily in combination with each other. And of course, as we always mention, Alec holds the record for being the fastest mechanical player in the shop, which is that he plays every card in his hand or deck at a breakneck pace. So, Garrett has the Lingering Souls. Alec answers right back with Lingering Souls. What happened to that Blind Obedience, do you know?
Not sure.
Did he get Abrupt Decay?
It looks...
And the Souls tokens trade back.
Yes.
2 Grave Crawlers. So we'll see what Garrett's got. Obviously not playing blue, so he doesn't have Supreme Verdict style sweepers in this deck.
Yeah, he managed to play a Swamp this turn. He can get a Mutilate out to wipe the board, but that doesn't look like a thing.
I don't think he's playing Mutilate either. Right now, Mutilate's only good for 1.
Yeah.
But the back half of this Lingering Souls token can trade with both of those Gravecrawlers, albeit basically just to fog, because Gravecrawlers will come right back. I guess you could double block the Diagraph Pool. We'll see here what Garrett decides to do as far as lining up blockers. He is in fact going to double block the Diagraph Pool, which doesn't shut off the recursion ability, since he does have 2 Gravecrawlers, but there's very little value other than just tempo in blocking Gravecrawlers.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see if Garrett has access in his board to Rest in Peace.
Restoration Angel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Didn't get to see the cool interaction with the messenger, but
Which basically just acts as like a de facto Obsidat in that Restoration Angel plus Charleston Messenger is a very expensive 2-card Obsidat. Still
well,
good.
with the Cartel Aristocrat, you get essentially 4 triggers out of it. So
you do. That is something I'm sure that happens more often than not. So serving with everything here, going to block 1 Gravecrawler. Soren dies. Garrett's going to gain 1 life. And he's going to replay the Gravecrawler and cast the back half of Lingering Souls with these 2 Hot Lady foil tokens that he's made. Or traded for. I know these guys had come back from Charlotte, so possible they picked up these shenanigans down there. So Garrett up against it here. Facing down lethal. But of course, Thrag Tusk, as it is so very good at doing, salvaging what looked like an unwinnable situation. That's awful from Garrett's chances here, as we see Blood Artist come down. Now it makes blocking kind of a horrible situation. You still block a Gravecrawler because it makes him use the mana, and it's effectively 1 less life than you would lose otherwise. But facing down an attack for 9 with a Blood Artist on board. So he's going to take 8 here no matter what. It's a very tough matchup for Garrett. Uh-oh, I'm very hesitant, but someone has posted a link in the chat, so I'm going to... Oh, wonderful. Oh, there's another meme. I'll save that and post that in the recap like I always do. People love that dog tonight. So thanks to Monster in the chat. If you're on YouTube, you'll have to go to our Facebook page and dig up the archives.
even more, another Lingering Souls in on there, so...
So he did in fact block the Gravecrawler, like we said. Obsidat comes down.
You see Obsidat leave the board at the end of the turn?
Does Obsidat fly?
It does not.
So Garrett using the pro play of putting the reminder die on his deck to make sure that he phases Obsidat back in. Replay a Gravecrawler. Block a Gravecrawler. Go all the way down to 2.
And cast a Gravecrawler again. This would be an ideal moment for a Cartel Aristocrat. But, that Blood Artist on the field, but...
Oh, for Alec?
I don't know that Alec actually runs any of them.
I don't actually know if he cares at this point, because like,
well,
he's got Garrett a situation where he's got 8 creatures on board, and if any 4 of them die, he wins the game.
Yep.
It's a very cruel interaction in Magic where you now cannot win if you destroy all my creatures. But Garrett is going to put up the best fight possible here. Orzhov Charm would solve the Blood Artist problem, but I don't think he has the mass removal capability in these colors. What could he possibly have? Terminus, I guess, Planar Cleansing, and Mutilate, I guess, but it's very unlikely that he has Mutilate since he's not playing Mono Swamps. He's just playing just black. Because Mutilate obviously hinges heavily on the amount of swamps in your deck. So let's take a brief second here and look at the standings. So let's see who is in the top 8. So drawing into the top 8 for the 3rd week in a row, Daniel Payne playing Red Deck Wins. He is drawing in with JB Roberts, beloved shop manager. So good to see JB playing in the top 8. I don't know what deck he's playing though. He used to play Esper Tokens, but he's recently switched, and I think he's still had a couple options, so I'm not sure exactly. At 12 points, Adam Vickers playing Grixis and Brandon Hart playing Jund. Brandon lost a game, so there's only 3 12-point players. Brandon on 3-1. I imagine in that spot, Vickers would probably scoop him in, and then those guys would go on. But playing, there are 4 sets of players on 9 points. Casey Skibby, who we saw earlier, playing Mono Swamp Control, playing against Justin Sayer. I don't know what Justin's playing this week. Jonathan Wright playing American Flash. We saw last game win with a Harvest Pyro and his own Boris Reckoner. He's squaring off against Brett Rose playing Esper Control. That's going to be very tough for Jonathan to win. Brandon Booth, I don't know what he's playing tonight. I know what Legacy deck he was playing earlier tonight when we were playing. He was playing Zoo against Victor Vasquez. I didn't see Victor was here tonight. Not sure what he's playing either. And then these guys on camera, Garrett and Alec, also on 9 points. So the way it's shaping up, each winner of these 4 winning in games, 4 automatic locks for the top 8. So each winner advancing. Is there another, I wish is there another picture here? Or is this just, no, same one. Someone in the chat lamenting the fact that our Swedish contingent, Rainbow Dash and Tindra, are not here tonight. Tindra, of course, is the one who makes all of the cool art for us. She's the one, Eric, if you're unfamiliar with, she's a Norwegian girl who lives in Sweden.
Okay.
And her fiance watch the stream sometimes. She's the one that drew this thing, the Zach Sells Magic logo of me. She also did some of these. Have you ever seen the 300 pictures?
I have.
Okay, she did those as well. So she's our resident in-house graphic artist. She also did the Harry Potter one from last week.
Okay.
So, but also, in order for them to watch, it has to be like, it's like the stream starts for them at 1 in the morning. So it's not a surprise that they're unavailable, because that is. Now, joined by Brandon. Did Vickers scoop you in? I figured as much. He's a good guy. Well, there's no advantage for him to play it out. Makes sense. Crucible promo. Make that. So we're back to action here. With Garrett on the play, with a turn 2 Farseek and a turn 1 Gravecrawler from Alec. He follows that up with another Gravecrawler and a Diagraph Pool. So a very aggressive start from the Zombies deck. So Garrett up to 4 mana on turn 3, but no play. Interesting.
Well, it doesn't benefit him to drop his Sorin right now.
Nope.
Just be a target. We have an Angel. Okay.
Restoration Angel going to eat a Diagraph Ghoul. Going to take 4 and a trigger, so 13. Out gaining 1 off the Blood Artist up to 19. Is it a Watery Grave?
It is.
So it's like Esper Zombies. What's that? Sorin? No, Garrett, right?
Relentless, yep.
Garrett Relentless going to shoot the Blood Artist. And since the Blood Artist has 0 power, it's not going to flip the Garrett. So now Alex is thinking, does he want to do 2 damage to Garrett, flip it, or does he want to do 2 damage to Garrett? It's also very tricky that Garrett and Garrett are only one consonant away. So he does in fact decide to attack Garrett. That will flip him. I think Garrett would rather his Planeswalker be in the removal mode
So we've seen Abrupt Decay hit the Blood Artist. It's an effective way to deal with the Blood Artist.
Anything that kills just the Blood Artist is a very good way of dealing with the Blood Artist. And he's going to make a Wolf token with the Garrett, and then follow up with another Farseek. So effectively, Garrett has stemmed the tide here. Because with the board state he has, Alec can't effectively attack here because...
And there he goes. He'll lose both of his... Oh.
Well, I mean, he can't... This is just telegraphing that he has a zombie in his hand, you know.
Or that he has a Restoration Angel.
Yeah.
For Restoration Angel.
Mm-hmm. So he's blinking the one that's bounced by the Restoration Angel. I think we're figuring out what's going on here. So he's blinking the one that's blocked by the Restoration Angel, right? Yes, that has to be the way that worked. And then replaying his zombie from the graveyard.
Should be untapped.
Well, one of them attacked. Like, it doesn't really matter, I guess. So makes another one. Is it Soren here? Soren make an emblem, right? Oh, Vault is very good. Soren make a vampire here. The only reason I thought maybe make an emblem is because then his angel can trade with...
the other angel?
Yeah, because Soren's emblem is not attacking only. It's just creatures you control hit +1/+0, right?
Yep.
Because then your angel can nug his angel. But as is, there's no really profitable attacks here, unless Alec has some kind of like combat trick, which Esper is not known to have a number of playable ones. Do you just let Garrett die here? Nope. You just force these bad trades. Or it's not bad trades. I mean, you do what you got to do to keep your. Does Alec have another zombie? Oh, he's down to one card in hand. Does not have another zombie, so he cannot play his grave crawlers. Garrett hellbent as well, draws his card for turn, but he has active planeswalkers on board. So you have an interesting situation here where he can make a token with Soren, sack it to Garrett, go get a Thragtusk. Seems pretty good, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's going to do. So he can go get Thragtusk, or he can go get a 3-drop creature if he wants, so that he can keep up Vault activation. Because at some point that Vault is just going to win the game. Obsidash is just as good.
Yeah.
That's better than Thragtusk in this situation. The chat talking about whether or not we're going to do a Lost Legion Harlem Shake video, which is something I have not. Trust me, I've thought about for like an entire month, but I don't know. It might have passed. I have an idea, which I think would be funny, but it's also the awkward point where I have to explain to JB what we want to do. But anyway, so Alec scooping to a pretty dominant board position there out of Garrett. So we see Garrett, no mass removal. In fact, no removal at all other than a Garrett. He used one Garrett activation and one Abrupt Decay. And other than that, good enough to get the job done with just some Planeswalker pressure. Hey now! Ringtone. That was unexpected. So we move to the decider here. One of these gentlemen will move to 4 and 1 into the top 8. The other one will unfortunately just miss. As 3 and 2 will not make it this week, as we did have 40 players in tonight's 5-round standard event. So Alec will be on the play, which is a huge benefit with his aggressive black-white zombie list. Garrett drawing it up basically as best you can. It'll be interesting to see like the variance in Alec's draws, because he's had both games so far. He's had turn 1 1-drop, turn 2 2 more 1-drops. So it'd be interesting to see if he doesn't have that in this game on the play, how much different the game works out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. We could see.
Of course, we haven't seen a Jarros Messenger.
We have not seen a Jarros Messenger.
And I have to assume he's playing it. Do you know what the blue is for? Do you have any idea what the blue
I
is
think
for?
maybe there's Dimir Charms.
Okay.
Beyond a Dimir Charm, I haven't seen anything.
Coordinated coughing. Synchronized. So it should be interesting. We've seen we've seen a lot of decks tonight that I haven't seen in past weeks. We've seen 2 copies of this black-white aggro deck, which I guess has seen, the black-white red aggro deck won the Pro Tour, but this just hard black-white deck seems to be relatively new. Along with some old faithfuls like American Flash and Jund. And red decks.
Yep.
But I can tell you this, not knowing exactly what everyone is playing, it looks like there's only, even if the right people win their win-in rounds, I think there's only one red deck in the top 8.
Which is surprising. I've seen red deck dominating the format for the last couple of weeks. I think
red deck is the kind of deck that always does well at the FNM because that red deck doesn't give you the chance to play through play mistakes, and it doesn't give the less than perfectly tuned deck. If you don't have X card because you don't have access to it, or you don't have so many cards, the red deck is just going to just pound you through. So Alec starts off with a Diagraph Ghoul, but interesting here, not only does he not have 2 1-drops on turn 2, but he doesn't have a Grave Crawler, period.
It looks like that Drug Skull, or Diagraph Captain, might be...
the
blue.
Zombie Lord?
Yeah. I think
there's
a draw for the first
messenger.
time.
So pretty much the best start that Alec can hope for. On curve, Gerald's Messenger, and here I thought Garrett had a chance because of the lack of Grave Crawlers, but he's going to need to O-ring that Messenger because Garrett at this point is not any good. Lingering Souls is fine. Lingering Souls will buy some time. Basically fogs 5 life this turn and 5 life next turn. You can, if you want to, trade with the front half of that Messenger. That's a lot worse now.
Blood Artist on board. Pretty scary.
Let's see here. If he blocks the front half of the Messenger, he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In total, between Blood Artist triggers, the Messenger's trigger.
Well, the Messenger's a
3, 2 base. Garrett goes up to 5 mana now. Can cast Thragtusk if he has it. The fact that he didn't just immediately play it indicates he probably doesn't have it. He might also be debating playing the back half of Lingering Souls and possibly an Abrupt Decay on the Blood Artist. But he's going to need to gain some life relatively quickly.
Here's a Thragtusk.
I mean, it helps to stem the tide, so I can't... you have to play it. I'm trying to see, I can't see what else is in Garrett's hand. Cavern likely on zombies coming down. So he's going to take 2. Take 2 from damage and take 2 from triggers. So drops to 8. Alec up to 23. And Garrett's still staring down a pretty brutal board state here. Attacking for 5. Restoration Angel. Bounce it, gain 5 more. Seems pretty good, right? I don't know if it's going to be enough, but...
I mean, this is a situation for red where it'd be great if you had a Skullcrack, but Alec just can't get that.
So, 5 life and a Beast Token and an untapped Thragtusk.
There's a Restoration Angel.
Restoration Angel blinking a Gerald's Messenger, which is a pretty fun interaction that we've talked about all night, but only just seen for the first time right there. Chat wondering why he main phases Restoration Angel. I'm not sure if there's really any advantage. can't remember if Alec was tapped out or not. I guess since he does have blue mana, you can.
Alec had 5 up, so it is interesting.
It is interesting. I don't know. Garrett's played a lot of Magic in his day, so I'm sure he had his reasons. So attacking in with the Restoration Angel. Going to trade the front half of the. You're going to trade the Beast with the front half of the Messenger. So he's going to lose 3 from Messenger triggers and the Blood Artist. No, 4 from those. And then Alec going to gain 2 life. Garrett holds his cards at just the perfect angle that I can't see any of them. Blocking with the Diagraph Pool. Another Blood Artist trigger. Does Garrett have another Angel? Another Angel from Alec is like the worst possible thing, right? Blink here.
Charles Messenger,
Charles
get
Messenger
that 2,
and get the Undying back.
No Angel. Or Love Charm, though. Okay. It's a good response to rest
Yeah. So Garrett's still going to get the Beast, but not get the. Garrett explaining that he did this during Alec's upkeep. So he did it on his turn, so that he'll have to tap mana on his turn, but before Alec gets to potentially draw a removal spell. I guess Garrett could have done that during his upkeep on the previous turn, too. So it's possible, probably do it main phase to prevent Alec from possibly drawing another removal spell, but then realize the second time, well, I should just do it during your upkeep. So trade 2 damage. Bloodthrone Vampire. Effectively, Garrett's life is at 1. If Alec has another creature, he can sack his whole board to the Blood Artist and manually kill him that way. So Garrett going to need.
Blood Artist triggers on himself, right?
Yeah, but he can't sack.
Oh, that's true.
Well, he can, I guess. He can. No, he
No,
can't
you can
sack
only
and
make
have.
2, so
Yeah.
you can't.
He can't. Can he sack it? Like, can he stack the triggers in some way? No, I don't think he can.
I don't think so.
'Cause at some point, one of them is gone.
Yep.
So Garrett up against it here. He needs to gain life in the most desperate of ways because, as I said, all Alec has to draw off the top is a creature, and then he can just sack all of his team and flashback Lingering Souls. Maybe the only business Garrett has. So the Restoration Angel is good enough. He flashes. Maybe Garrett has a response. In response, Abrupt Decay. Oh, did he realize he didn't have the black mana to cast it back? So Garrett may have potentially punted that game. His plan is to, in response to the Angel, Abrupt Decay the... Come in! Abrupt Decay the Blood Artist, which wouldn't give him enough. But it's very unlikely that he was going to come back from that anyway, based on just like the superior board state. Just stabilize it too low a life. So a very interesting match there. I thought that there were 2 games, both the game that Garrett won and that third game looked like Alec was just going to steamroll him. And then Garrett ground his way back just slightly too low of life to stabilize. Well, we got 16 minutes left. I'm going to step out and see if there's another match. Very unlikely.
Who won that?
Alec did. We will be, yeah. Feel free to talk about some Magic related topic. Let's see.
No talk. Yeah, that's the thing is, I feel like I've harped on Modern Masters enough that you guys are sick of hearing of that on the stream. I have harped on it. I've been talking about Modern Masters all night.
Why is that?
I am absolutely ecstatic and excited for Modern Masters to come out. It comes out on the best day of the year, my birthday, June 7th. June 7th is when it's being released. So, you know. Yeah, with Modern Masters, we have a lot of great reprints, hopefully. So far, I mean, Tarmogoyf is obviously a beautiful, beautiful thing to see reprinted. Right now, he's retailing at like 130 secondary stores, which means he is 130. It is insane. But, you know, with Modern Masters coming out, we've got more and more players interested in the Modern format, with Modern being an FNM format now. It's seeing more interest, and I think we're seeing more people run. Yes, Modern Masters is going to be a restricted print run. They're gonna do much less than a standard set like the core set or Dragon's Maze coming out. It's also being marketed at $6.99 a pack to keep it out of the hands of new players who think they're going to be able to play it in standard. That'll give them a little shock so they don't, you know, start buying the wrong packs. And yes, that and Modern Masters is going to have, instead of basic lands, they're not making basic land set or suite for the Modern Masters. They are going to be printing foil cards in place of the lands in packs.
Yeah, I heard about that. Have they even spoiled anything other than Tarmogoyf?
The only thing we've seen so far is they've shown art that appears to be a City of Brass. So, City of Brass, pretty good card. Tap for a mana of any color. Whenever it taps, deals 1 damage to its controller. It's not bad. I mean, it's essentially a dual land, comes in untapped, pains you, but you get whatever color you want.
Free mana.
Yeah. Free mana. As far as adjusting rarities go, we have a statement about that on the stream. The rarities will only be adjusted with the Mythics section. It'll take some of the rares because Mythics only exists since the Alara block. The Alara block, I think.
It depends how technical you want to get about it. Time Spiral technically had Mythics.
Huh? Do you want to come and talk about it?
Actual Mythics.
Is there another game?
No.
But yeah, so the only rarities that will be adjusted is from rare up to mythic rare on some of the cards. Yes, City Brass does not come in tapped.
That's really why I like playing on this game right now, because I can go back and watch that game.
Yes.
I have like 3 different decision trees, and I think taking the one where I abrupt decay.
I can't change your name. I can't change your name because I have it so that I never have to change my own name. Because it's almost always me. I have to step outside and take care of some business. But you can talk about that game.
Oh, I see you grabbing trade binders.
What deck are you playing?
I'm playing Junk Midrange.
Let me see this. My deck can beat it.
Oh, sure.
I went 2 and 3
beat it.
for the record, for everyone to
What's that
know.
on your jacket? Oh, there's nothing inside it.
What are all these blue sleeve things? Tokens.
Those are tokens.
I see
Yeah, like the turn that I played a Restoration Angel, the turn that I played a Thragtusk, I had drawn an Abrupt Decay. And I don't know, I mean, I think I was dead if I didn't play the Thragtusk there, yeah. But at the same time, I had a couple turns later where I could have Abrupt Decay instead of Restoration Angel. And I also drew a Vraska. I don't think playing Vraska was ever the right line. But yeah, definitely get the advantage of going back and watching that game now and seeing which tree would have been better based off what you drew.
You know what your deck says to me? I'm gonna make this game really, really long and annoying.
I have a very big top end over a lot of decks. Like my going big beats a lot of other decks going big. I can't beat a Sphinx's Revelation most of the time, but I can beat a lot of other things.
Can you beat Naya Blitz?
If you have bad draws, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else?
Is Naiad Blitz's worst matchup.
Alright. So I'm gonna inform everyone here who's possibly thinking about ever running Naiad Blitz. If you ever face someone who's running red, pray to God they don't have Electricity, because it is a 2-mana board wipe and it is the worst thing ever.
Kills your mayor and then kills a bunch of other stuff.
It was like, boom, my board, and I was like, oh yeah, sure. I still had like a couple 2/2s or something in hand.
I mean, I have a very, like, 1-for-1 removal suite, so
It was ridiculous.
That's not what you want against the deck that empties his hand on turn 3, but...
Yeah. I know Electricity isn't played because I played a jank deck, and, you know, he played Electricity. He also, later on, when I played all my 2/2s, he was like, Electricity Reverberate, and they all died. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Also, I got murdered by the same guy with a massive raid.
A massive raid,
massive
yeah.
raid?
Like, one hit. Massive raid for 20 damage.
I've got a deck list up on the Facebook page that is like red, white, black tokens with massive raid. That's the finisher. Instead of Hellrider, it's just massive raid and like Chandra, so you can double cast your massive raid.
He was like, Krinko, Mob Boss, and then he played...
Oh, Krinko Mob Boss, okay.
And then he played whatever card from Gate Crash that makes the 4/1/1... No. Whatever card makes the 4/1/1 goblins, right?
Goblin Rally.
That one. And then he made 5. This is on his
I
next
play
turn.
limited. I suck at it, but I do play limited.
He made 5 more goblins, so he had 10. And then his next turn he was like, make another 10, and he was like, massive raid for 20, and I was like, that's a thing. And I thought it was really cool though, because I died to one massive raid.
Died too late.
And then the next game, when he did all the
Often not
Electricity
drafted.
nonsense, I got really angry. Like, no one should run that card. What?
It's a legal card. You gotta play around it. That entire game too, like, I was very aware of Tragic Slip. Like, if he had Tragic Slip at any time, like, I made a Sorin Vampire, then I sacked it to Garrett, and then I went and got an Opposite and played Opposite. It feels like Tragic Slip right there. This is a massive blowout. Like, you just 3-for-1 me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's cards that you have to play around all the time, even though it's not something that you would normally see. Maybe running out all your 1/1s against the red deck without Boros Charm back up is not the play.
Irrelevant to the game you played on the stream, when you were like playing Cliff and you're just like, alright, your Huntmaster doesn't see my Opposite. When it comes in, I was like,
right, I mean,
2 damage, but I don't understand.
well, he could have had a Searing Spear.
I mean, it's true.
Right.
Was he untapped? I didn't see his man.
I didn't
just looked
see
over when you were
what,
talking.
I mean, obviously you can see what he had in his hand,
Yeah.
but he was really hard in attack, and, it's FNM, plus it's under time. Like, our games were going very long, so I wanted to eliminate a decision for him by letting him know what the rules were for Opposite and Huntmaster.
It's just you were very, very clear on it.
Yes.
I found it very, very funny.
And it'll probably save a couple seconds, so.
Yeah.
Anything going on in the chat?
They're talking about
Modern Masters.
We could just talk to ourselves, and the chat can just talk about Modern Masters.
Yeah. I found out that it's very difficult for Naiad Blitz to deal with Boros Reckoners because their 3/3s are like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot your other creatures.
Yeah.
And they
Boros
pretty much
Reckoner
always
is very good against all the human decks, and I'm gonna go out on a limb and say against the zombie decks too. I haven't ever seen Boros Reckoner versus zombies, but
Alex said he's not afraid of it.
Well,
think
they do
it's
have
a-
the
the
Orzhov charm.
Are you afraid of Boros Reckoner?
zombies do have a
You mean
bigger
Mother?
removal
Yeah.
suite.
Mildly. Yeah.
Mildly? Okay.
We
We
if I don't have
actually
an answer
just-
for it, it's gonna murder me.
Yeah,
But
we-
I need my full summon.
But
I'm trading it. You're not in the top 8, right?
Yeah, I'm in the top 8.
No, you're not.
Hand me my bag, will you?
excuse me,
I said hand me my bag,
you
will you?
didn't say hand me your bag, please.
Please? Please get
Will you please hand me his bag?
Yeah, don't
Hand you my bag. You can do something with it.
What
This
is
one?
your bag?
No, it's the
Can you accurately? Oh, hey, Smith.
Hey, buddy.
I didn't see you right here.
He's quiet.
I was like,
It's the fancy clothes. It's the fancy clothes, you know.
We're just talking about how to never play around tanks.
Who are you trading it to?
I'm trading it for a Ford's Dallas run.
We were just talking about how
Makes
to never...
sense. I agree with
Is
this
I'm
trade.
collecting them.
I agree with this trade completely. Right after I rip it in half, but don't worry
You said
about
the mirror stuff is what you're looking for?
No.
Or Orzhov. I do have a foil Orzhov guild kit.
I need a...
I don't have one.
I do have a question about Boros Reckoner.
Alright.
They're wondering if Wizard's going to see some restriction of him in any way.
Definitely not. He is
In
by
standard?
far, he is an extremely fair card.
He is extremely fair. He is actually essentially a reprint of Spightmare
He is
that has
essentially
the
a
first
reprint.
strike activation.
I don't know what
That's true.
is.
He is the
Spightmare
same
is
thing
essentially a Boros
with
Reckoner.
for one more mana.
Yep.
Okay.
Like literally the same thing.
Okay. I mean, there's no way that card would ever get banned or restricted in
Yeah.
standard. I mean,
First
it's-
off,
like
they
just
don't ban
because
stuff in standard.
something's popular does not mean that it's powerful.
I mean,
There are very many ways to remove a Boros Reckoner, and there's very many situations where a Boros Reckoner is absolutely terrible. Like,
this is true.
whenever you're
When you're
playing
facing down,
whenever you're playing against Esper, what's a terrible card against Esper? Oh, Boros Reckoner? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, it's pretty
terrible.
bad.
I'll take it. I'll
whenever-
tap him down.
Whenever they just have Tamia, they have removal, and they have no creatures. I mean, it's pretty bad.
Yep. Look at that.
I mean, same thing.
he-
That's what Sam Black built the Aristocrats deck around, was to beat Boros Reckoners.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely an easily beatable card, and I don't think it'll ever see any restriction or banning.
Same thing like Thragtusk. Like, remember the first month of Return to Ravnica release, whenever every deck was green-white.
Oh yeah.
And it was just Restoration Angel Thragtusk. Like, every deck was just Restoration Angel Thragtusk. And, they talked about it every week in the SUG Open, just Thragtusk needs to be banned.
It was Restoration Angel Cloud Shift Conjurer's Closet Thragtusk for this guy.
It could be. It could also be a Civic Slime there.
It's the first time I ever top-aided was with that deck, and I felt awesome. Very mid-rangey.
I mean, for like
Did very
the
well.
past 6 months, all I've been doing is playing different variants of Restoration Angel Thragtusk. So I'm not playing tonight.
Restoration Angel Thragtusk.
4 of each and 4 Obsidians, because that also seems like a good card.
You should throw
That's
Justani
a
in there.
pretty good card.
All the life gains.
I should not. Like, the deck that I took
I
to
should
Cincinnati was this deck minus, like, it was like 10 cards sided out, or like 8 cards, sorry. It had 4 Centaur Healers and 4 Rock's Faith Menders. Like, I didn't want to lose to Blue, White, Red or Burn that week. So I took it up there. Of course, Karma says I want to get paired against Jund and Esper, rounds 1 and 2. So I go 0-2 drop from the main event. But then I joined a side event where people weren't playing Control, and I won that side event.
I won that side of it. And I felt
But I
very
did learn.
happy.
I did learn the lesson that you can't just play mono life game. Like, you have to have control factors. So that's where the Oblivion needs to come in, the Nebraska comes in, more abrupt decays, stuff like that.
Did you talk about how Modern Masters is built to be drafted?
Yeah, we did talk
That is
about
the
how
sweetest part of it, I
Modern
think.
Masters
You know what's also built to be
is
drafted?
pretty awesome.
Every other set.
Yeah, but it's the fact that they're reprinting all the modern staples,
Right.
quote unquote. Some
Right,
of them, or whatever.
I understand that, but it's not like I really hope that it's half the red spells aren't rituals, and then 3
Seething
spells.
song. I swear.
Because if there's going to be 5, in Gatecrash, a comparison. In Gatecrash right now, if you draft and you sit down at a table of 8 players, there could be 1 good Simic deck. There could be 1 good Dimir deck. There could be a couple Orzhov decks. There might be able to be a couple Gruul or maybe Naya decks.
Brozov, don't forget Brozov.
Yeah, there's the Brozov deck. But generally, there's, out of the table of 8, there's 6 archetypes. In Modern Masters, there better not be 6 archetypes at a draft table. There better be 8 different decks at a draft table. And that means high variance amongst the cards. So, it's either, I really hope it's not easy to
It is
draft
a large
decks.
set. It is, I believe, somewhere around 240 cards in the set.
What?
So 240 cards in the
Gatecrash?
Modern Masters.
Modern Masters.
Surely,
So-
if someone wants to sit down on a draft table and draft Storm, there could be 1 good draft. There could be 1 good Storm deck at a table. There could be 1 good you know, birthing pod deck at a table, and there could be like 3 or 4
There will
good
be.
soup
Well,
decks.
there won't be a birthing pod deck.
Right, because it won't be reprinted.
I'm sorry.
But yeah.
I have a question for you, Zach.
Make sure to move the mouse so it doesn't go screensaver.
But yeah, like either it's going to be really diluted and only certain archetypes will be draftable, or it's not going to be diluted and it's going to be scarce. Like it's going to be actually really hard to draft Storm. Because if another player's in drafting Storm too, like there won't be enough cards to support 2 Storm decks at one table.
True.
What's in the box? Commons and coins, dollars, rares, stuff.
I can't see the chat.
What's
We got all
what were
pretty
the
cool.
extra things you were talking about? You said there were some different lines of play in that game?
Yeah.
Without
Game
making you rehash everything you probably just talked about, like what was the main thing?
The turn I played Thragtusk, I drew an Abrupt Decay. The turns after that, I played, I think, Runner, Restoration Angel instead of... Because I was looking for a land, and I drew, like, Vraska and another Restoration Angel. So I assumed that gaining 5 life and getting another 3/3 and getting another body each turn was better than killing a Blood Artist, but I could be very wrong.
I don't know. If you gained the 5 life on the second blink, like that game would have been a lot different.
Yeah, but he...
Also, if you had the second black source to be able to Abrupt Decay.
These are 12.
I have 2.
So,
Yeah, the last
it's a
turn-
rough matchup for you.
The last turn...
Traded
Yeah,
Jordan form.
that's, I mean, whenever we were shuffling up for Game 3, I was like, this is a really good match. I said, either of us is 50-50 to win.
Yeah, I think it's a very close matchup that he's a favorite in.
Right.
So,
Plus, I mean, having the hands that he had, like, one game he had...
oh, we talked about it. I said, like, in Game 3,
Well,
it'd be interesting to see if Alex on the play, how his deck will respond if he doesn't have 3/1 drops by turn 2.
Right.
And all of which are grave crawlers. Like, when he
And
started
then a
off...
messenger.
I got one.
Well, when he started off in Game 2 with just diagraphs and no third 1-drop,
Didn't
I
I
thought,
find out
well,
it
this
was
would be good,
like-
but then went straight to Messenger
Yeah,
and Blood Artist.
exactly.
Like, that's just tough.
Yeah.
Just tough. So, any other business going on in the chat? Have we
A
lost
lot
all of
of,
our viewers?
No,
We're at
they're
168.
pretty excited about Modern Masters still. They're
Is anyone going in the chat to Las Vegas? I have 2 friends I know. One, Nick Fiola from South Florida Magic, also talk to him on Facebook a lot. He has been saving up to go to Vegas for the event. And then one of my friends, the guy that works for Legit MTG is the editor.
Right.
He's been wanting to go as well.
It's going to be a big event. Like, I think
I
that's going to be another, like, 2,000 plus GP.
It's going to be 2,000 plus. A lot of people are talking about like it's going to be bigger than Charlotte, which I think is impossible because
No,
like
because it's on the Midwest.
Vegas is not near anything.
Exactly. It's sort of nothing.
Yeah, like the thing about Charlotte is like we were talking about earlier, like you can drive from the south, you can drive from the Midwest, you can drive from the Northeast, and from the Ohio Valley. Like from Vegas, you can drive from Los Angeles, and that's it.
Yeah.
You have to fly in from everywhere else. I also think there's going to be like a small percentage of people who go to Vegas for the event and never make it to the actual event site, because that's what always, like, look at every convention that's ever in Vegas.
Yeah.
Like your registered enrollment versus the people who show up is always drastically different. Because I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of stuff you can get into on Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
Various
stuff that
adult activities.
might be more enticing than sitting down and playing imaginary wizard battles.
Yes.
I mean, there's adult activities. I mean, there's gambling, I guess, is an adult activity too. There's also just like a lot of ways to lose your money. That doesn't
There's a lot
involve gambling or prostitution.
You can spend a lot of money there too.
You can get mugged.
You can get mugged. Grand Prix Vegas, you can get mugged. What a great advertising campaign by Garrett there.
It's just Evan Irwin holding a knife.
Huh?
What's that word? What's that word?
Oh, that was a fun night.
It's like 40.
Yeah, I know. This one?
Been a good evening. Sorry you couldn't make it to the top 8. It looks like 3-2. There's a hard cutoff at 3-1 and 4-1.
We looked at the standings. At 3-1-1, I was the lowest breaker. And I
One
didn't
of
feel
you,
comfortable drawing.
one of you would have drawn out.
Put one of those to the washer.
Nice.
Way back in the day.
I did lose to Jonathan Wright earlier tonight. Whatever his last card in his deck was. I mean, I think he knew what it was, but he forgot what it was. And I assumed because he forced 3 cards to the bottom from an auger, and he was down to his last card in his deck. And I didn't ask him how many Snapcasters he had, but yeah, I knew he had a Harp Spire in play, or in his graveyard, and a Boris Reckoner in play. So, lo and behold, his last card was his Snapcaster Mage. His last Snapcaster Mage.
Flashback Harvest Fire wins. Because you don't have counters.
I do have a Abrupt Decay,
Right, but...
but I didn't have one in my hand.
What are we waiting on?
Because unlike Sphinx's Revelation McGee back there, I didn't get to sculpt a perfect hand.
We're going to go investigate why we're taking so long.
That does look like a fun deck to play, though. Blue, white, red. Boris Reckoners.
I don't know. The
American
inclusion of
Reckoner.
blue makes it not fun. In my opinion.
It's a good thing. But I mean,
But,
like,
I'm a big fan of Sphinx's Revelation.
it's a pretty good thing. It's a pretty good thing.
Do it.
it sucks.
It's kind of funny when someone responds with a
Seeing speed.
or,
Sean.
or skull crack.
Anything.
You know what?
Skull crack.
You know what a fun interaction is that I learned last week playing Battle of Wits? I played Battle of Wits last week.
It's pretty cool.
I was in Charlotte.
I played against Michael Taylor, who had mono red. And did you know that if you swing for 5 and your Battle of Wits opponent cast Fog, if you cast Skull Crack,
Skull crack does indeed.
Skull Crack says damage cannot be prevented this turn.
Does it really?
It
Fog
does.
says prevent all combat damage.
I did not know that.
It does indeed. Skull crack's pretty
So
cool.
Skull Crack beats Fog. And I took
No, Turbo Fog doesn't exist anymore. No.
it was so brutal.
Yep.
So I reached across the table and punched him in the face.
Stole his deck. And
That's why he's not here this week. He's in the hospital.
Who is this?
Michael Taylor.
I saw him last night.
Yeah. He doesn't have any teeth anymore, does he? That's right. So
Looks
remember,
like a
kids,
chipmunk.
don't frickin' skull crack my Fog.
His mouth is all swollen.
Oh, this is fun.
Alright, time to draw out the hand.
Time to draw out the hand. All right. What's your
Champion.
This is
Good
what?
hand so far.
This is Nia
Giant
Blitz.
growth. Yeah. Burning
Need
Tree
pillar.
Emissary. We need land. Only 2 or 3. Sun Pelgrim. I need
That's a
another
tap
one.
land. That's a Flint Hook War with no mountain. Or 5, 6. That's a frontline medic. Now we're going into
Boom! So
Having
that
a soul.
helps. Bad hand.
It does help. I
Wood
mean, you
ball.
can get.
like, what would you draw before you play your Sun Petal Grove?
You can play the.
Oh yeah, I could get like
What's your
this.
next card?
Oh,
You get to draw a card this turn.
no. Yeah, I know.
What is it?
It's a champion.
You're so
Well, you can
terrible.
play
Now
another
you go
champion.
champion.
I can play champion, trigger, swing 2.
Alright. This is Naya Humans deck tech against Computer Monitor.
Alright.
Computer Monitor has a horrible matchup against Naya Humans.
What I can do here is emissary, trigger,
There's like 2 games
flint
still
hoof
going on.
door.
This is
But I
bad
can't do
TV.
anything else. I mean, I could Searing
This
Spear
is-
instead.
Trade me
something
C2.
else.
This is very bad TV.
This is Naya Humans.
Swinging for 5 or something
They
dumb.
can't even see it.
They don't need to see it.
They actually do. I don't do this for my
Craig.
health. Let me.
Frontline medic, trigger.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
No,
Switch
just
to
like,
cloth.
just like leave the room longer.
How did you finish tonight? 2-3, did I ask you?
Don't talk to me.
Don't talk to you. Okay.
2-3.
Got it.
Went 2-3.
We're still going tomorrow?
The dog's back.
If somebody is going to drive, because
It has to be like yin then, right?
that, like, whatever it is, the shoulder, the joint.
I'll do it.
Did you hear about how I lost round
I really need
3?
to see that.
Yeah, you're fine. Why?
So anyone
Because I want to...
in the Virginia area tomorrow, the Virginia area, not the Virginia state,
Yes.
the area around Virginia, there's a PPQ at the SCG store in
There-
Meadows tomorrow. Of course, the format is modern. The format will always be modern in PPQs up until March 17th. And then after that, there is a SCG IQ, Invitational Qualifier, at 3 p.m. That format is standard. As of right now, the plan is to not go to this.
There are multiple events tomorrow. So there's a PTQ in Roanoke. It is modern, and then followed by the SCG IQ, like Garrett said,
Right?
in the afternoon, which is standard. That's in Roanoke at the main game center for Star City. There's also a PTQ in Ohio at Columbus. That's run by Comic Town. I do know people that are going to be working. I do know one of the vendors there. So if
And
you
he won't sell his wastelands.
if you are you're going to that, it's a modern PTQ as well. It should be really big. It's at the Hilton there, and I think, I can't remember where it is, Grove City or somewhere. But there's more information on our Facebook page, and I can just get in touch with me. Then there's also the Star City. There's also the Star City Classic event in Louisville tomorrow, which is a standard tournament. If you're unfamiliar with their Classic series, it is basically a mini Star City Games Open series.
It's a 5K.
Yeah. It is a 5K instead of a 10K. So lots of activities going on tomorrow in the greater regional area. So make sure you check that out. Other things that are going on in terms of events. I don't know if there's any. Is it DC next week? Star City DC next week? I can't remember.
There's DC in the one. I think it is either next week or the week after that.
And then the following week, or in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now,
That's a good place to get mugged.
is is Grand Prix Pittsburgh. Are you going to Grand Prix? Are you going to Pittsburgh?
I might
We're going for sure.
It would be
Ian and I are
another Charlotte situation where I don't ever plan on playing in the main event because it's sealed.
I'm not doing that either. I'm just going to sell and hang out and stuff like that.
Be cool.
But so some of us will be making the trip up to Pittsburgh. So if you're interested, huh?
Can I have a car seat?
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. So there's going to be a car of us head up to the Grand Prix in Pittsburgh. We met a lot of you guys in Cincinnati, which was awesome, but Pittsburgh will be there for like the entire weekend, so there will be no stream that week. That is the weekend of the 23rd, but we will be in person there in Pittsburgh. So if you're up, a lot of the people that watch are from like the PA, Northern Ohio area.
I even have that Friday off.
Sweet.
I have the 22nd off.
Living the dream, so we might leave early, head up to there. So that should be fun. So come out to those events. If you can, support Magic, support your local stores, and more importantly, on the 30th, I mentioned it 1,000 times tonight, but we do have the Star City game invitational qualifier here at Lost Legion. There's tons of information about it. I'll flash this screen again so you can see it. But I'm not kidding you. Like, this is the perfect opportunity if you are within a couple hours, and I've always wanted to come down and hang out at the shop to make the trip. Possibly win some money. It pays for the whole trip. I'm telling you, like, you load up, if you want to come, let's say you live in Lexington, right? It's 2.5 hours away. And you're like, man, I'd like to go to that. It'd be fun to meet those guys, play some Magic. You get up, you leave your house at 9 o'clock. You get here, you load up the car with 3 other buddies, you chop gas, you enter the event, you get home, that whole day is like $40 and includes a major card tournament. So $250 cash for the winner.
You need to chop like fuel, not...
you don't actually chop the car.
Bodily movements.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I'll fart this time, guys.
well, it looks like my ride's heading out. So
All
I
right,
think that's
well,
it for me tonight.
Eric, thank you very much for sitting in as co-commentator this week. Hope you had a good time.
Bringing eggs on Wednesday?
I don't know if I'm gonna make it up on Wednesday, but if I can, I will.
I got my Kentuckies now.
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, that's
challenge.
terrifying.
Challenge is on.
Terrifying. Get out of here with them things.
So,
Kentucky
all
actually
right.
doesn't beat Lotus Tower, though.
Nice seeing you,
No, it
Schmidt.
doesn't.
Good trip home. Thank you again for your help.
Yeah, no problem.
Just to confirm in the chat, they're asking about Pittsburgh. That is the week of the 23rd, the weekend of the 23rd. And that, of course, is Gate Crash Sealed, right?
Gate Crash Shields.
So I have heard out there they have just announced the top 8, or at least the prizes for people not making the top 8, so we should be on to quarterfinals coverage here shortly. That, of course, assuming they don't all chop the top 8.
Vickers is in the top 8. He sure won't play it out. I don't know. He has to work in the morning.
I don't know. I'm just always a little bit hesitant because the one player that constantly no-sells playing on camera always makes the top 8 apparently now, because he's playing a deck that is very forgiving. So, yeah.
Why does he say that? Oh, jeez. No one's speaking up. Everyone better be raising their hand.
I just heard Adam say I don't care, so they're going to bully him into chopping it.
Right. Shaking that camera's probably not a good thing.
Huh? Are you chopping or not? Jonathan's not going to chop. Jonathan's not going to chop.
Jonathan's our last hope.
Jonathan, all that separates us between us and another unfulfilling into this tournament is one Jonathan Wright.
There he is. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Jonathan Wright for the win! He's the Wright brother.
Did you see the Wright brother? Oh, you had him on camera. I was sitting beside him. I got Wright brother front row seats to that Wright brother. That Wright brother fest.
Yeah. So, congratulations, Jonathan Wright. You are the player MVP this week. Let me go see who we got paired up.
All right. Time for some filler. My day was pretty good. I ran Ripley. If anyone knows where Ripley is, I delivered a lot of packages. I picked up some packages too. Had Mexican for lunch. Chicken nachos. Chicken fajita nachos, actually. Really, really good. That's about it. I mean, everything went just about as good as it could today. It's really hard for me to get here at 6:30 if I do run Ripley because I get off work at 6:15 and it's a 15-minute drive. So, nailed it. Perfect today. I did eat an entire Mexican. It was tasty. Ripley, Ohio. Is there a Ripley, Ohio? I'm sure there's like a Ripley in every state because, it's not an uncommon name. But no, there's Ripley, West Virginia, which is actually very close to the border of Ohio.
Talking to yourself in here?
I am. I'm talking to the stream. Don't you have to go play?
They haven't done pairings yet.
Oh, okay. Thank you, by the way.
For what?
Play.
Oh, yeah. I think it's stupid. Off top 8.
I don't know who you are, Spikemo, but I'm not allowed to do the sexy delivery driver thing anymore. I did it once, and this old lady did not like it at all. Many complaints were filed, and her grandson walked in on us. So, actually, none of that's true. And everything that I say, please don't fire me, FedEx, for saying that. I work for UPS. You are the stream savior.
And a dog.
It was 7 people out there, and then he was like walking in like, no, you ain't gonna chop.
Have my pre-magic pee. Getting ready for it.
Is that what you're drinking right now?
Yeah, pretty much. Feeding the bottle, I recycle. It's healthy.
Saves money. Saves money.
See you.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Jonathan Wright, everybody. So how's it going, chat? It's really hard to look at you, chat, and read you at the same time. Like, we need a teleprompter right here, like newscasters do. So I can address you and read you at the same time. We'll talk about other streams. Like, I don't know about you all. I like watching other streamers, supporting the Twitch TV community. Trying to do my best Day 9 impersonation right now. Like, dramatic pauses, emphasizing certain words. Just be like, scratching the beard, then making my point. Like, the classic Day 9 stuff. If anyone doesn't watch Day 9, it's Day 9, I think it's just Day 9 whatever, I don't know what his Twitch name is, but by far, like, the best Twitch caster, period. It's like, on Twitch there's Day 9 and then everybody else, even if you don't watch StarCraft 2, if you don't play StarCraft 2, it's like, watch that guy. He is very knowledgeable, very entertaining to watch, and, like, you'll just find that even though you have no interest in StarCraft 2 whatsoever, you're watching his stream. You're watching him break down games of players you never heard of before. And it's
I'm back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just did what everyone drives me nuts.
I was at a crossroads here of commenting on Moldsack's name. I do like your name, Moldsack.
I did get some clarification that Payne doesn't mind. Oh God, these effers and their trade binders constantly moving my camera.